Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to where we go. Doodle dum dum doodle dum. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to Danny's Detours, where we talk about anything, everything life related, and consciousness is our canvas. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're to start on another walk today. We're back out on the park, going back onto the back fields, and it's an absolutely fantastic day today. We're out with your two favourite compadres today, Paddy and Willow, and yeah, we're just out and about having a little bit of a mooch. Oh, Willow's having a number two now. I'll have to pick that up. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Give me 1 minute. You timed that to perfection then, Willow, didn't you? Right. Oh, let's pick it up. She always chooses it at the best of time, guys, you know what I mean? She'll go for a wee, and what she'll do, she'll wait till I get right in the middle of the road. Sorry about that, guys. She'll wait till I get right in the middle of the road, and then she'll start having a wee. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we're back on another adventure, because every day is an adventure, isn't it, guys? You know, getting out and about in nature. I got up this morning, did my cold shower. You know, I'm out now with the two doggies, my two best mates, Paddy and Willow. Yeah, so yeah, but like I say, I always like to start the show, well, the channel, by saying thank you for everyone that has shown support, and I've noticed a lot more people are popping up in the comments. So, you know, if anyone would like to leave a comment, you can do by all means, and I always do reply to them very, very quickly. So yeah, but like I say, you know, the growth in which we're experiencing at the moment is really, really good. I'm very, very happy with it. And these daily videos, guys, you know, I don't script them or anything. I just more or less just do them on the fly. I get up and whatever's on my mind at the time. And yeah, so, but go on, you two. Let's get you a few shots of Paddy and Willow. Paddy. Here he is, there's little Paddy. Willow. Here's little Willow. They're on the hunt again, guys. They're probably sniffing for dog poo. I think Willow's probably trying to do another poo review. She's done a few of them lately. But yeah, I'd just like to start by saying, you know, you are amazing. You can do it. You are infinite intelligence. You are limitless. You are boundless. You are unstoppable. You know, I was reading an article on X the other day, and it was just stating that, you know, there's only one thing in which we can't be controlled by, you know, at the moment, and it's our awareness, guys. You know, like, because if you think about it, we are constantly in a perpetual cycle of being distracted. Whether that be like Netflix, you know, anything, you know, social media, just also even like looking at like soap operas and stuff like that, because I've always been a big believer that, you know, things like Coronation Street, I'm not, you know, if people watch it, that's up to them, but I always believe that programs and stuff like this was always like a distraction for the masses, for the working class, because it's sort of like it distracts you from what's actually going on in the, not so much what's going on in the world, but what's going on inside, because you are infinite awareness. You know, you do hold the power, you hold the key, and you can change your life or do whatever you please whenever you want. The way I see it is like the creator or God put us onto this earth, you know, and we are merely just fragmentations of God, which means you already have the infinite wisdom and power and intelligence to bring anything that you choose to do so forth into your life, you know. So it's just all down to you guys, you know, just becoming aware and knowing what actually is possible which is, you know, you've always had it inside of you. Like the day when you was born, you already come into this world with infinite knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, and the power. So never forget that, guys, and always listen. Come out in nature and just listen to your inner knowing and your inner being, because it will never ever direct you wrong, whether that be like, you know, they always say like gut feeling or your heart, you know, because our brains are there to give us practical thinking, but these are our two most innermost compasses within our bodies, which will never direct us wrong, guys. So yeah, but anyway, going back to like talking about the channel and stuff, I've got a few ideas or a few plans that I am going to start implementing, you know, in the coming months on this new channel. I've got a few ideas, so, you know, obviously stay tuned, guys, and just be ready and be aware, because you know, I'm going to start mixing up the content a little bit, and just, you know, I feel as though like just coming out and just having a chat and just talking about anything and everything, that's, you know, it's very good, you know what I mean, because it pretty much just gives everyone the chance and the opportunity just to become aware, you know, of what we are and who we are. You know, we ain't defined by our past. We're not defined by our job roles. We're not defined by like other people's opinions or what we, you know, what we think they say of us. And it's like yesterday when I was on the bike, and I bumped into someone who was like, well, he worked at one of my old places. He was high up, and just my perception of that person, you know, made me think to myself, it was just like what I thought of that person. But really it wasn't a case of like what I thought of that person, it was what I thought of myself, all them fears portrayed onto it. It's a bit like, I'll give you for example, where say you come up to like a friend of yours and you say, oh, I've got this idea, I think I'm going to start running for a marathon. And then you might get that one person who turns around to you and says, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but I don't know if you should do that because of this, or, you know, that literally all they're merely doing is just mimicking or projecting their fears of what they think of themselves onto you. So, you know, you always be aware of that, guys, and just always think to yourself, you know, irrelevant of what you think people think about you, or, you know, the possibilities of what you can and can't do, you know, you already can do it. You know, you've already got everything inside you or within you. It's already within your grasp and within your reach, because, you know, you are amazing, you are limitless, you are boundless, you are Christ consciousness, and never forget that, guys. So yeah, but here they are. Let's give you a few shots of Paddy and Willow. Here she is. She's on the hunt, and here's Paddy. Paddy's grazing. I think he might have used to have been a goat in a past life, because he's a bit of a fan of the old grass. But yeah, I love getting out on these backfields in the morning, because especially at this time of year as well, because it's you know, spring is one of my favourite times of year, because to me it always represents like new life or being reborn or the chance to start again. And like we can take a lot of introspection and, you know, gain a lot of like clarity from the seasons, because I suppose in a way like our human lives, you know, whether you want to call that a vehicle or whatever it is, you know, we go through the seasons, because obviously if you look at spring, it's kind of like when we are born. You know, we are born into this world, and then we're toddlers, and then we turn into teenagers, don't we? Which then we start entering the summer period, where everything's warm, fun, the drinks are out, everyone's having a bit of fun. And then, you know, as that starts to end, it starts to get a little bit chillier. The wind picks up, starts creeping in, and we get into like, say, our 40s and 50s, which is the autumn period. So, and then obviously, you know, leaves start to drop off the ground, hence we start to lose hair, you know. We start to lose a little bit of muscle mass if we're males. if that's the case. Or, you know, all these little examples, we can always correlate towards the seasons. And then obviously, once we head out of autumn, we head into winter where everything's cold and, dare I say, things start to begin to slow down and die again, guys. You know, hence why when we hit that old age. So, yeah, I think that's quite a pretty good comparison, really, on, you know, judging our lives to the season, which, you know, always remember that everything in this life is connected. You know, our spirits, our minds, our bodies, everything is connected. Even like we were looking to, like, say, the dream world, you know, like when we go to sleep at night, there is a, you know, specialists or people do actually say that the dream world has significant connection to our actual real world and the spirit world. So there's the 3 separate astral planes. But, you know, well, obviously we could talk about that on a different episode. But, yeah, but just look at that, guys. Bit overcast today, but I'm not complaining because it's a good day, because every day is a good day. Because we wake up in the morning and we say what we always say. I am wealthy, thank you. I'm healthy, thank you. I am Christ consciousness, thank you. And we give, you know, our praise to the highest power, but knowing that we are the power as well. So I'm going to leave it at that now, guys. But thank you so much for liking. And don't forget, guys, you know, if you leave a comment, I always appreciate everyone leaving a comment in, you know, in the section. You know, even if you wanted to, like, ask me something, or if you want to reach out to me on my socials, message me, or, you know, I would even be willing to, like, contact people if people are struggling, or people want to do a one-on-one or talk about anything. You know, I'm here, guys, and I'm here to offer my insight and wisdom. So, but yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. It really does help the algorithm grow. There's a plane just flying across up there. Yeah, but for me, Paddy and Willow, peace.